Danny, I wouldn't imagine, mate, in your illustrious playing career that you ever cut your ear when you got the winner in a game or scored a goal for Liverpool or Tottenham or Fulham. It just wouldn't be you. I can't imagine it. But we saw
probably did.
Did
I don't know.
Did.
Probably
did.
Maybe the old.
Maybe one of them.
When I was getting some abuse, yeah.
But not to a lower league opponent, would it? You're very respectful towards other opponents.
Players.
Maybe not as high.
I think there's a difference between players and supporters, isn't there?
Well, the reason I ask, a lot was made of this at the weekend following the exit at the semi-final stage of Coventry City and Manchester United winning that penalty shootout. Antony, of course, cupped his ear, much to the annoyance of many of the Coventry fans there on the day and many of the neutrals watching on the telly. Antony has subsequently posted on Twitter.
Yeah, it sounds like he wrote it, yeah.
Coventry proved why they reached the semi-final. We seeked, brackets sought, this spot in the final for our fans. And we achieved. The way our fans were treated by their player was not nice. And I, in the heat of the moment, I reacted to the provocations in a natural defence of my club, according to Antony. Graham Souness didn't see it that way.
It's naff. You know, one of the bigger, again, I come back to senior player, you pulled them and said, we don't do that. Man United are a class act. Historically, they've always been an absolute class act. For to have a player like that acting in that way, it's naff. Just don't do that as a Man United player. You know, it wasn't Real Madrid you've just knocked out. All the bad habits are ironed out on the training ground. Yeah, that's not the first time we've seen it from him, doing daft stuff.
Yeah.
All the daft stuff about Rashford not closing down properly, about antics on the training ground, that's all on match day. That's all ironed out on the training ground. You get after them on the training ground. And as a manager, you encourage your senior players to get after them on the training ground.
Graham Souness, Danny, simply not having it. Ten Hag was asked what he thought of this furore over the cupping of the Antony ear.
Did you see the reaction of Harry Maguire?
Yes,
Okay.
very respectful.
He was provocated, and he should not react like this. Yeah, he was provocated, and that's why this was a reaction on that. So you haven't seen that provocation, you only see the reaction. But he should not do it. But also, I have seen Harry Maguire straight after, and as others, because we should acknowledge the performance from Coventry.
Of course, it's not Ten Hag's first language, but he was provocated. He was provoked, according to Ten Hag. I mean, how do you see it, Danny? Souness got a lot of backing for what he said the other day on this show.
Yeah, he was pretty much spot on. I mean, the I don't really know what Antony was cupping his ears to, what player who'd said what, who'd done what. His post is very vague and a little bit, maybe the language, I don't know, but it doesn't make any sense. If a particular player has wound you up, sometimes you react, but nobody else did. I mean, Maguire, McTominay, you've seen the way they conducted themselves when they won the penalties. I thought that was classy. I pointed that out at the weekend. He's a bit of an idiot, and he's a bit of a clown, Antony. I mean, I didn't really get too offended by it. Just a silly, immature reaction to them going through on penalties. I don't think it's the worst crime in the world. I don't think the Coventry players probably lost any sleep over it. Maybe lost a little respect for him if they had any in the first place. But mountain out of a molehill for me. Although, yeah, I tend to agree with Graham. It is classless. I mean, you've just gone through. Luckily, you've escaped by the skin of your teeth in a semi-final. Great game. Just go and celebrate, or go and shake their hand and go and celebrate with the lads. Get have a bit of class, have a bit of respect.
I balked at the word embarrassing. A lot of people were saying, a lot of United fans were saying, "Oh, I was embarrassed at the way my club has progressed to an FA Cup final." What did you think of the framing of the manner of Manchester United's progression past Coventry? Some of them say it's embarrassing. It was embarrassing. That's not the right word,
I'd rather have an embarrassing win than a gallant loss. I think it's fair to say I've played in games where we felt...
You're not going to get a gallant loss against Coventry, though, are you? If you're Manchester United.
No, but in a generic term. I mean, the reality is I played in a few games where you come off thinking, whoa, we were lucky there. And you show that with the respect to the opposition, with a shake of the hand or an unlucky, or, you do the right thing. You don't over-celebrate a really poor performance, even if you win. And the majority of United players, I thought, dealt with it really, really well.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.